All right, look at this. This is an amazing, I asked for 3 kilos, but I need to weigh it. I'm not sure if it's 4, but this is the meat I've got packed. How cool is that? So I find it very useful watching videos like this. So I thought I'd share what I do when I get my package from McLaughlin's. It's a great butcher here near me. Sometimes I ask for just pure fat and they give me very little beef. This time I wanted both. And now I'm separating them. Now that's the fat bowl up the top. And I do like to go through every single, what I'm thinking of right now is creating a bite to eat. So I like to go through every single piece of fat, and I'm cutting off the fat separately, right? But I'm actually, with the beef, I'm actually thinking about what will that bite taste like when I cook it in the air fryer. You could also cook it in the oven if you don't have an air fryer. Hot and fast is really good for this. So you would get your oven screaming hot and then pop them in for not long. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing here. Like there was a tiny bit of that I threw away, and you'll see shortly I put it over on the plastic bag. I found what looked like a gland perhaps that wasn't taken out. So first time that's ever happened. I've bought offcuts from this butcher a few times now, and they used to be my supplier when I ran a cafe in the city for all my Irish products. So I love them. They're a really great supplier. And you can tell because I didn't have hardly any rubbish off of this group of fat trimmings. So that's the fat bowl, and that's the beef bowl you can see there. Again, I'm just cutting through into bite-sized pieces of what I want to later cook in my air fryer. And those fat trimmings, I had a bowl last night. That was so good. I had 250 grams, which I think is half a pound. I think a pound is 500 grams, and 250 grams is, which is a quarter of a kilo here, is half a pound. And it was amazing and such an easy way to increase your fat intake if you're doing high fat carnivore or some version of that. So yeah, this is just going through the last of it now, the last probably third. And again, I'm just examining all the pieces. Took me about 20 minutes, I think, to chop all this up. And obviously I've sped up the video. But just the concept. The concept is get your fat bites separate. There's very little meat on those fat bites, very little. And then get your meat bites as well. I would start with 5 to 8 minutes in the air fryer, and then just increase until you get to know how fast your air fryer cooks and to what level of crunchiness you want. And you will have melted tallow underneath as well. That was a bit of gland there, I'm just showing you. You'll have melted tallow that I then pour into my glass jar, and I just collect fat, random fat in my glass jar, and I mix them all, no problem. So that's it really, that's the end of that. Let me show you now what we ended up with. So this is what we're left with, okay? This is the fat, and this is going to be beef crackle. That is going to turn into amazing crunchy crackle, and that's going to be meaty, beefy. So you can see I've cut these with the intention of creating some beautiful crackle and a bite of beef and a bite of fatty crackle. That's how I've cut them when I butchered them. And there's very, very little on here. This will sweat down. We will render this in the slow cooker, and it will be mostly just fat. It's a pretty good cut. So that's it. All right, so I couldn't wait. I actually bagged them up into little baggies, and ended up with, you know, some great portions. I think 2 kilos after I took this out, this beef, I ended up with 4 bags of 500 grams. And then the tallow, pure fat, was about 1.5 kilos, I think. So I'm very happy. This was absolutely delicious, and I popped that on in the air fryer. I've got it written up there on screen, and I will show you the finished product. It is so delicious, but you've got to do the beef fat too, the pure beef fat. It's amazing.